Hello from Huntsville, Texas. I just arrived to the area. I'm running the Rocky Raccoon 100 tomorrow in Stephen F. Austin State Park. It'll be my third time to run this race. The first time I finished 100K, I didn't finish the race. Second time I finished the 100 miler, so I really know what I'm up against. And this is my third time. I think this year's conditions are going to be pretty wet. It's near a swamp, and it's been raining and icing all week. The weather's been very bad, but the weather's good now. On Friday today, it's sunny, so hopefully it will dry up a little bit. I feel pretty good. The last few weeks, I've gotten 40 to 50 miles per week, and been climbing 10 to 15,000 feet a week, so I feel pretty good. Show you a little bit about the gear I'm going to be using tomorrow. Shoes, Hoka Speedgoat 5s. This is my fourth pair. I've been pretty happy with them. I get a new pair every time I race a 100 miler, so my backup pair it's got about 200 miles on it. This is a new pair. I like these new colors. One of the bad things about using the wide version is there's not many different color variations, but if you buy them directly from Hoka, you can get a little bit better selection. So that's the one I'm wearing tomorrow. Clothing wise, plan to use long and gingy socks. These are the ultra versions. You got the toe socks, so it keeps your toes splayed. I've talked about it many times on my video, the advantages of anti-blistering and just prevention. I like the high socks, so it prevents stuff from getting down into your feet, because I don't like to use gaiters on a lot of races. I'm planning, it's going to be a little bit cold, around freezing at the beginning of the race. So I'm planning on using Xoskin shirt. Xoskin's got very special material. It's got some real small carbon fibers, not carbon fibers, but copper fibers inside the shirt. It's so it dries real fast. It's kind of skin tight. Pant wise, I plan to use Smartwool. These are kind of a medium thickness. I've used these in many ultras. I've actually ordered some new Craft Pro Trail Series pants, but they're on back order. I plan to use those at Love It Race later this month. Whenever you're using tights, it's very important to have underwear that has very little seams. And this is a disadvantage of wearing tights in 100, because you're going to be out there 25 plus hours. If there are any seams at all that don't like you, you're going to get chafed real bad. So what I do is I use these very thin, so you can see the emblem. These are T8. They're made in Hong Kong, and they only have 1 or 2 seams in the whole underwear. They work really well. Highly suggest them. You can get them online. I think it's just under T8. Lighting, I plan to use a black diamond headlamp with a hat. I'm not going to wear my thin bandana because it's going to be cold. And one thing I learned in Rocky Raccoon last time, since we're close to the ocean, not far from Houston, it gets really cold at night because of the winds. So I'm going to wear a hat with my black diamond light. And then if I don't have to use trekking poles, I just don't know how muddy it's going to be yet. If it's really muddy, then I'll have to use trekking poles. But if I don't, I'm going to be using my Nathan light in one hand. I really like this light. It uses AA batteries, so it can last 10 to 12 hours. So I can last all night with this. The nice thing about using a headlamp is it's beaming forward with the direction I'm running. But the hand lamp, I can put it directly in front of me on the trail and look at special areas that I want to look at. Something that looks like a snake or rock or root. Out here you got to be careful in the swamp area, because this time of year rattlesnakes and stuff go underground, but in the swamp area you get water moccasins. So I mean, you can see them, and last time I was out here I saw a few water moccasins, and they're black, so you got to be real careful of them. I've also seen other types of snakes out here too, but the rattlesnake's pretty much gone right now. It's too cold. But anyways, I really like the hand light, so I like to use 2 lights. And I'll be using my Ultra Aspire vest, and I keep batteries wrapped up. I got AA and AAA. They're already wrapped up in the quantity I need. I typically put my key in here, and I also put an extra valve for my hydration bladder. I've had those break on me before, and I'll put that in the back of my pack. I also have Solomon jacket, windbreaker. I keep in the back of my vest. This is just for emergencies. If a storm comes in, I've had that happen before. You get really cold. You know, it's basically if all hell breaks loose, I can put this on. I wanted to show these. I've got these arm sleeves from Craft. I used these in my last race. I'm not going to use them this race. I brought them just in case I needed them, but I don't suggest buying these. They're kind of expensive. They're $35, and I use arm sleeves all the time, but what I don't like about the Crafts is they got this piping on the end. I thought about cutting it, but it kind of chafed me in my last race. They look really nice, and Craft, I've been so happy with their stuff, but the arm sleeves, I'm not sure if I like them very much. So just wanted to throw that in there. So we went on with lighting. Nutrition, I use what's at the aid stations. Tejas Trails does a good job, but one thing I do carry, I carry a couple with me, is I really like these GOO Espresso Love caffeinated, because I need caffeine. These guys have 450 milligrams amino acids, 60 milligrams of sodium, salt, and 40 milligrams of caffeine. So I'll keep like 2 of these in my hydration bladder. I like to drink coffee, but I found sometimes races just forget to bring coffee. So nothing worse than not having caffeine when you need it. So I'll carry some of those. Also, this is a loop course, so I'm gonna do 20 miles 5 times. So when I come through, I'll grab 1 or 2 of these. I really like these. These are the RX bars. They're made with dates and eggs and salt, and work really well in the wintertime because they don't melt. You can't use these in the summertime. They melt on you. But in a cold race, they work well. I'll put 2. I'll start eating one when I leave the main aid station, and put one in my pack. So 1 or 2 of these every 20 miles. I also like using the Cliff blocks. These are great too, kind of expensive. I keep a few of these with me, but everything else I'm getting from the aid station. I try to eat real food as much as I can. Another thing that can help you is I keep these little Folgers packs. If an aid station has hot water, but they don't have coffee, I have my own coffee. And if I get in really bad shape and I need caffeine from coffee and the gels are not doing it, I'll even dump these into my Gatorade or Tailwind or whatever. They work fine, as long as you get your coffee right. Garmin Fenix watch 6X I'll be using tomorrow. I'll also be carrying my Garmin E66I. This is my satellite communicator. It's got a map. The map comes on here, and I can send messages via satellite to my family. And if all hell breaks loose, I have an SOS button here. I can push this button and it immediately contacts Garmin via satellite, and they will tell the Forest Service to come rescue my ass. So it's a pretty cool device. Carry this in the front of my pack. It's got all kinds of things in it, like digital compass, map, this full map on here. I can put it in expedition mode, and the map will turn off until I hit the button. And I can go in there and I can send a message to preset contacts like my wife and my brother and say, okay, I'm at mile 33, I'm doing fine. I can send all kind of messages, and it's all done by satellite. So I do not carry my iPhone in races because most of the time it doesn't have a signal. This guy doesn't need it. It's communicating via satellite. So it's E66I. You can tell I really like coffee. I also carry some cold coffee in the made aid station by my gear bag. I'll take a swig of this when I come through. And in my main gear bag, I will also have some spare shoes. I've got 2 pairs of Hoka Speedgoat 5s, and I've also got 1 pair of Ultra Olympus. If the Speedgoats start troubling me, I'll switch to Ultra Olympus. But I've never changed shoes in an Ultra before, and I've done over 40 Ultras, so. But I always keep them just in case, you know, maybe a lace breaks, or maybe it gets tons of mud in them or something. There might be some reason I need to change shoes or socks, but I always prepare for that anyways. I also keep some of this Gator Light. It's like a Pedialyte, but Gator Light. This stuff is really sweet and strong, but if you drink 1 or 2 of these in a race, it really can bring you back to life. I keep these in my aid station bag too. Chafing is a big deal, especially in long ultras. I've done videos on this, and my go-to one is chamois butter. It's what cyclists use. I use it. I've done videos on this. I've tried them all. Trail Toast, Squirrel's Nut Butter, all of them. I used to even be sponsored by Squirrel's Nut Butter, but this is the cheapest, but also the best. Really highly recommend it. I'll be using this tomorrow. I'll lube up in the morning. Main thing, you know, your private area, your butt, all that stuff, you know, legs, under your arms, and on the bottom of your lower back is important, because the pack will be rubbing you. Even though you have a shirt on, it can still chafe you through the shirt. Just put some of this on there. And then when I come through at night, you know, maybe around 60 miles or something, I'll lube up again. Not everywhere, but just a little bit more. But this is what I'll be using tomorrow. I will also be covering myself in sunblock and also on off. So getting good coat of DEET on me to protect me from the bugs. But I think that's about it. Look forward to the race, and I'll talk to you in a few days. Take care. Bye.